Welcome to Birds of Prey Sports Talk. We're your host, Sheridan TJ. I just moved up a little bit and I'm already out of breath. It's ridiculous. Anyway, in this video, we'll be discussing the Orioles versus A's series. We're behind still, but I promise we'll catch up. We'll catch up and, we'll be on track with every series afterwards. We'll post it right afterwards. We promise. Right? Right.
Yes.
So anyway, thankfully, we got to play a team that is considered below average, actually below average, I should say. At the moment, they have 3 wins and 13 losses, and we are unfortunately one of those wins. But we did win a 4-game series versus the Oakland Athletics. Won the first two, lost a third, and won the fourth game. And let's just say the series was unfortunately exciting. We like exciting, but we don't like exciting against teams that we're supposed to be superior than,
Mm.
supposedly superior than. So anyway, let's just get right into it. So in the first game, our top hitters are Adley Rutschman. He went 1 for 4, had a home run, an RBI, and finally hit a home run over that left field wall. I believe that's his first time.
Mm.
I think that's his first time. Ryan Mountcastle also went 1 for 4 with a home run, but had 2 RBIs.
Yeah.
Um, also, you're wearing a shirt, huh?
Yeah.
He also hit it over the left field wall. And
Mhm.
Austin Hayes goes 2 for 4, has a home run, and also has an RBI. So we hit. It was a pretty warm night, if I remember. So the ball was flying pretty good. The whole series really it was warm. So
Yeah.
they were hitting a lot of hard line drives and home runs and stuff. And I actually gave the player of the game to Austin Hayes with his 2 for 4 performance, and he's been this whole series, he needed this series. He came in, he wasn't hitting very well, but he was really hitting, the baseballs hard in this series. But anyway, let's get right into our pitching in this series or in this game. Kyle Gibson goes 6 and 1/3, only allows 5 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts,
Great
and
game.
our bullpen, Brian Baker comes in for him in the seventh. Pitches 2/3 or no, how do you say this? It's not 2/3. No, it's 2 and 2/3. No, it's 2/3. I think. Yeah, it's 2/3. Because
Yeah.
if he pitched two, I didn't want to mess it up. But I think it's 2/3. He pitches 2/3 of an inning. I think that's what it is. 2/3 of an
Okay.
inning. No hits, no runs, no earned runs, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. So on those 2 outs that he got, he struck both of them out.
Okay.
Dino Perez comes in, who's been up and down this year, mostly down. He kind of is. I think on one of the broadcasts they were saying his spin rate's down, and that's kind of concerning because that usually is a sign of an injury, possibly. Hopefully not. Hopefully it's just he needs to find his stuff. But Perez, he didn't do too bad this game. He goes an inning, allows 2 hits, no runs, no earned runs, no walks, and he did strike out 2. And then Bautista comes in. Not a safe situation, but he just came in because he hasn't pitched in a little bit. Goes an inning, only allows 1 hit and strikes out 3. So let me just give my praise to Bautista real quick. I was kind of worried about him after the first 2 games of the season when he comes in and allows a few runs but still gets a save in the first game and then allows the game-winning home run the next game, which you can't really fault him for because of Ryan McKenna, so he technically should have another save. And with that, with the game 1 win, we go 5-5. So we did fall below 500 versus the Yankees after we lost that series. But again, let's give our props to the pitching today. Only allows 1 run. On 8 hits and strikes out 11. So they didn't really need a whole bunch of offense. Kyle Gibson goes 3-0 in this game, a signing who was supposed to be, you know, the innings eater. And I guess my question here is, you know, are you satisfied, with this signing of Kyle Gibson? He starts off 3-0 and, just goes 5, 6 innings, even 7. And he went 7 in his last start. So he's eating up the innings he needs to and gets another win. Are you happy with this signing so far?
Well, first of all, I just want to say, I'm just this game in general, I was very happy about. I feel like, we needed this game, to show, just get back into our normal selves again, whether it was against, the downtrending, athletics or not. I feel like this game was, kind of important early on just to get us back on the right track. But, I'm really proud of Kyle Gibson. I'm really liking, his pitching, the stuff he has is kind of filthy. I'm really enjoying, especially seeing games like this, him pitching 6 innings, 4 strikeouts. I mean, and only one earned run allowed. I mean, it's
I'm
just great
sorry.
to see.
I don't mean to interject, but like, it's for some reason every time you like sit back, you like disappear, and it just is kind of
Okay,
funny. Like, just
okay.
I just
Oh,
kept
I'm here
laughing
now.
because
I'm
like, you
here.
kept disappearing.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I'm very impressed by Kyle Gibson in this game, like you said, it's kind of I wasn't expecting too much from him, but he's
Right,
really come on strong so far this season. So I'm happy to see, what else he can do moving forward. And
right,
especially the other three pitchers that came in to back him up. I mean, they held down the fort, held down the
yep,
foundation pretty well. So this is just a great pitching game, a great hitting game.
right,
We had 3 home runs, 5 RBIs, 6 hits. I mean, just great hit a game. So,
right.
I'm really proud
So
of the team.
yeah, they just like we were saying, the bullpen comes in, just continues what Gibson started, it just shuts the door, and then you got to do that, as a bullpen. If you want to have an elite bullpen, they got to come in and just like don't extend the game. It felt like the past few years they just made the games more interesting than they should be. I remember, I believe in 2021, you're playing the Astros and we swept them that series, but at the every ninth of the inning, every like in I can't even talk now. I messed up. Anyway, so I was saying that in every game in the ninth inning, it was interesting. We could have been winning by 4 or 5, and they score 2 runs. They get the bases loaded. It's like just shut the door down. So it was nice to
Yeah,
have this type of game.
yeah.
So anyway, in game two, now this was the game. We were at this game.
Yes,
This was an event. This was a fun baseball
yes,
game to go to. So
yes,
I'll give
yes.
my top hitter performances. Austin Hayes goes 4 for 5. Wow, 4 hits. And unfortunately, um, he had the spotlight stolen from him. But we'll get into that in a second. He goes 4 for 5,
Mhm.
a home run, 2 RBIs. He scores 4 runs.
Mhm.
Adley goes 2 for 3, walks 2 times, and scores twice as well. He didn't have any RBIs, but walking twice in the game is no small feat. And the
Yes.
player of the game, easily the player of the game, Ryan Mountcastle, 3 for 4, two
Ryan,
home runs, 9 RBIs, and 2 runs scored. Like 9 RBIs. Are you kidding me?
he was just
I mean,
going
that's
crazy the whole game, just coming in clutch. Like whenever we
I
needed,
know,
Ryan was there, and
right?
you know
And
it,
he
it
hits,
was
I
hype.
believe. Oh, go ahead.
I'm just saying, we were just all getting hyped. It was just
Hmm.
amazing to see. I'm, you know, I was actually kind of worried about Ryan coming into the season. Though he had a lot of slow moments last year, and kind of at the beginning of this year too. And so, just to see him, kind of get a little warmed up the first game, and then really come on in the second game, 9 RBIs. I mean, that was just I was happy to see that from him. I was happy to see him kind of get his footing back again,
And
so
that I believe that ties an Orioles franchise record, 9 RBIs in a
yeah.
game. And
Yes.
the comment on what you said, I wasn't as worried with Ryan Mountcastle, Ryan Massel. That's a new guy. Ryan Mountcastle coming into the game, into the season, because Ryan Mountcastle was like dubbed the most unlucky hitter last year. He
Hmm.
had an insane exit velocity average. I believe it was like 100 and something, but it was always right to a guy. Like it would be right to a guy. Like it would be hit hard as hell, but he would hit it right to somebody. So
Mhm.
if we could see more of this, he was hitting a lot. I think in his first at bat, he hits it to right center field to tie the game at 1. Oh, Brace Rodriguez pitches this game, but we'll get into that when I talk about the pitchers. But but then in his last at bat, when he hits the grand slam, he just launches one like
Mhm.
456 feet, 110 miles an hour, and it's just
Mhm.
one of the longest home runs in Camden Yards. So no small feat there. But anyway, this game was exciting because we win 12-8, but we were down, I believe, 7-3, I believe.
3. Yeah, 7 to
Yeah,
3.
so Grayson Rodriguez has 4 good innings, really. He allows, I believe, 1 run or 2 runs. I believe 1 or 2 runs he allowed in the
5 earned
first.
runs. Oh, yeah.
No, I'm talking about in the first 4 innings.
Okay.
But once he gets to the fifth inning, he gets in a little trouble. He gets the bases loaded, I believe, and then Austin both comes in and messes the whole game up. So he goes 4 and 1/3, 6 hits, 5 earned runs. 5 runs, 5 earned runs, 4 walks, which is kind of concerning, but 6 strikeouts. So the K numbers seem to be up pretty high. But then, like I said, both comes in and messes it all up, going 1 and 2/3, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, no walks, and 1 strikeout. Ryan Baker comes into relief for him, and there's and allows no runs or hits, no walks, and 1 strikeout. Danny Coulomb, who is I believe he was a trade this year, who's been very good for us this year. He's only allowed like one run. He
Mhm.
goes an inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, three strikeouts. So he struck out the side. And then Gillespie, another one who we've been complaining about, goes an inning, two hits, one run, one earned run, and two Ks. But that grand slam is more important than many people think because if that doesn't happen, we're winning 8-7. Yeah, congrats. But Gillespie comes in, and well, I guess I can't be too worried because Bautista probably would have came in that situation.
Mhm.
But let's just say that Bautista doesn't come in. They're like, oh, we don't want to pitch him 2 days in a row. And we're like, okay, well, just put in Gillespie. He comes in, he ties the game. Well, he allows the tying run, I should say. So thank God for the Ryan Mountcastle grand slam. He would have been tied, but the grit in this team is insane. It's immaculate, really. It's just there's so much fight. There's so much grit. They fight hard to the end, until all 27 outs are had for them. Just this team, I love this team.
Yeah, and
Last year they fought hard, and they're continuing that trend this year.
right, and I just want to say I never get worried when we're down. Like it
Right.
just seems like we could be down 7-3, and I was like, you know what? I just believe that somebody is going to hit a base hit, knock in some runs, get a home run, and we'll be right back in it, and we'll find a way
Exactly.
to slug it out.
And this
And that's a good
offense.
thing and a
Oh, go
bad
ahead.
thing, but it's a
Right.
good thing and a bad thing. But like you said, we have so much heart, and I feel like this season we have so much heart because we have something to prove.
Right.
At the Baltimore Orioles, we're back. 2014 to 16, it wasn't a fluke. We're really back. We're really, trying to win some chips. So
Well, I would argue saying 2022 wasn't a fluke. That
20, yes,
2012
2022. Yeah.
2012 versus 2016, that's all gone. That's the past. Nobody on that team is here besides Michael Givens, who came back this offseason. But I would say it's more of 2022 wasn't a fluke, and they've so far this offense is come out firing in the first, few games.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, so that was probably the game of the day. Believe I said that Mountcastle was the player of the game.
Yes.
But anyway,
Yes.
game three, um, disappointing. Disappointing. We lose the game 8-4, drop to 6-6. Um, and the top hitters, Adley Rutschman, 1 for 3, an RBI, and one walk. Jorge Mateo, 2 for 4, one RBI. Cedric Mullins, 1 for 2. I believe he comes in for a pinch hit. Adley ties the game, I believe, and then or something like that happens. I think Mullins gets it to 1. Adley ties the game at 4, and then 8 runs or 4 runs get allowed. But anyway, so yeah, Mullins didn't start this game. Dean Kramer, he allows a 3-run home run to Brett Rooker in the first inning. He goes 4 1/3, 5 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. Mike Bauman comes in relief, who's been also another one of those surprising, bullpen pieces. He goes 2 innings, 2 hits, no runs given up, no walks. He doesn't strike at anybody though. Keegan Aiken comes in and really he messes the game up truly. Goes 2/3 of an inning, 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts, and then Perez kind of is the death blow for the game. 1 and 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, no strikeouts. Then Gillespie comes in and goes 2 and 2/3 and gives up nothing. The one time we don't need him to do good, he does good. So yeah, Aiken and Perez, really messed up this game. And like I said, Perez has been kind of up and down. I mean, he let him go 1 and 1/3. He really let him pitch probably too much. And really let Perez get lit up. With 5 hits that he allowed. So, also a recent trend that I've noticed in our wins and losses. Our wins, we get like double-digit strikeouts. In our losses, we barely strike out 5 people. So something to look out for, in the future. But anyway, um, just again, the fight in this team, it didn't quit. They tied the game at 4. They were down 3-0 in the first inning. Like when you're down 3-0 in the first inning, you know, you're most likely going. I'm not going to say you're most likely going to lose that game, but it's just you're behind the 8 ball. You don't want to be there. But guess what? They get it to 3-2. They allow another run, but they tie the game at 4. So, like how we were saying about the last game, this team has no quit. This team fights, and they will continue to fight. And we did lose 8-4, so like they eventually got knocked out, but still to tie the game after being down 3-0 is impressive. And I just want your opinion, how excited does this make you for like when we play the Astros or the Yankees or the Blue Jays or whatever?
Well, it definitely does make me excited because it tells me that, the offense is definitely going to show up.
Right,
And, it seems like, we can just sort of, really 100% count on Adley to be there. I mean, and we can count on other guys too, but it seems like Adley so far is the most consistent one.
right,
And other guys, they'll have their moments, which is great, which is fine. So that's what I love about this team. We can always expect the offense to, eventually come through because it seems like we're a team that we score in bunches.
right,
Like, we'll maybe be flat a couple innings, then we'll really get hot. One inning we'll score in bunches, and we'll,
right,
tie the game up and we'll be right back in it like, we always like we were in the whole game. So
right. And
yeah.
it's not like bomb central, like we're not hitting
Yeah,
3 run shot.
yeah.
It's
Contact,
all
like
small
contact
ball,
hits.
it's
Yeah.
small ball, getting on base, getting bases loaded, walking in with the bases loaded, getting bases, whatever it is. It's just this team has so much fight in it.
Yeah.
But anyway, game four of the series. This is a 4-game series with the A's. This was for this is for the Athletics to either tie the series or the Orioles to win. And the Orioles do win with a walk-off home run by Adley Rutschman. Trying to see the score. 8-7. We win 8-7. We go to 7-6. Above 500 again. Ryan Mountcastle goes 1 for 4, hits a home run, an RBI, scores once. Austin Hayes 3 for 4, scores twice. Taryn Valber goes 2 for 3, scores once. Ryan O'Hearn, who was called up in this game, goes 2 for 3, 3 RBI. And Mateo doesn't record a hit, but he gets 2 RBIs, so that counts. I believe they were both sacrifice flies. So in like the first 2 innings.
Mhm.
So but anyway, the player of the game, I obviously am going to give it to Adley because he hits the walk-off home run. That was his first hit of the game, but it was the biggest one. So anyway, I'm going to get right into the the coughing. I'm going to get right into the pitching. Um, Cole Irving, who was a trade from the A's, has been massively disappointing, and this start just showed it. 4 innings, 5 hits, 6 runs, 6 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, and 2 walks. And if I remember correctly, in the fourth inning or the fifth inning, or fourth or fifth inning, I forgot. He gets the first 2 outs, and then his head falls off. He doesn't know how to pitch, and that's a problem with a lot of our starters and pitchers. Is they get to 2 outs or they get to 2 strikes, and then it's like, now what do I do? I got this far. I didn't think I would get this far. What do I do now? So, and just a quick side note: Paul Irving was optioned to AAA. Spencer Watkins and I can never pronounce his first ring. I think it's Yanir or Yasir Kano or something like that.
Mhm.
I'm gonna get his name right in the next video because we will be talking about him more on the White Sox series. But so Cole Irving, very disappointing. He's supposed to be another one of those innings eater, but can't get to 5 innings. So Austin Voth has to come in, yay, and goes 2 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run, and 1 strikeout and 2 walks. And really, just it's not awful performance, I guess, but it's not great,
Yeah.
But thankfully, the back of our bullpen does the job. Brian Baker goes an inning, no hits, no walks, no hits, no walks, no runs, 1 strikeout. Or I'm sorry, he actually has 1 walk. I lied. He has 1 walk, but didn't allow any runs. Danny Coulomb comes in for an inning, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Bautista comes in another game of the series where he doesn't need to save anything, but comes in, shuts the door down with 2 strikeouts. So overall, the back of the bullpen did fine. Baker, Coulomb, and Bautista both, all the three of them, shut the door down after Irving and Volth wanted to have a run party. Um, but again, I believe this is another game where we had to come back. Another game. It may not have been as big as 3-0 or 7-3, but it was still a comeback. And again, it just proves our offense is ready for the battle. No matter, I mean, obviously it's the A, so it's kind of expected, but I was talking to you about this, and this felt like a game where, like, maybe a few years ago, the roles were reversed, where the A's were the playoff team and the Orioles are garbage, and the Orioles go up on the A's 4-5-0, and then you lose 12-6. It's frustrating. It's not frustrating. It makes you happy because that used to be you. That used to be the Orioles who used to blow the leads, who used to get them early and then fall apart towards the end of the game. And it's like it's so nice to have a team like this now who they won't blow leads and they're dominant. Really, not dominant. Or they like they can. They're so young, but like they're so good. You know,
Consistent.
Adley's
Yeah.
young, right? Adley's and I wanted to talk about Gunnar Henderson's struggles, but he's been struggling hitting the ball, but he's been getting on base a lot with a lot of walks. So that's what I'm saying is like they're young, but sometimes they feel so experienced because not a lot of young players are walkers. They're usually free swingers. So I guess I think in the last video I said that I wanted to DFA Ball for get rid of him. And I think after this series, it just proved my point. He needs to go. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's
Well,
just
that I wanted to kind of ask, that kind of segues into my question. I wanted to ask you is, you mentioned that, Cole Irving was optioned down to Triple A. Do you believe that, optioning him down to Triple A like that, do you think that will allow him, to sort of get his confidence back, get his, maybe, allow him to get out of his head a little bit, go against lesser talent, you would say, build him back up again, and then we can ease his way back into the leagues. Like, do you think, this will truly help him moving
I
forward for
mean
the team?
yeah, like how you said when in your question, he will be playing lesser competition. It's closer to MLB level ready players, but it's not like MLB ready players. So it's either going to be prospects or it's going to be guys who are in their 30s still trying to make a major league roster. So it's just I think it will help him, but if he struggles down there, we're going to need to start having a talk of like maybe we just need to get rid of him. He's just not good. And I don't know much about Cole Irvin, with the A's, but he was brought in, and a lot of Orioles fans seem to be like, "Oh, this is another veteran starter, left-hander, I believe he is, just to come in and eat innings like how Jordan Lyles did, and like how Kyle Gibson's doing." And he's only thing he's been eating is 4 innings, and that's not good enough for us. You need more out of that. And it seems to just I think he can pretty much to answer your question. I think yes, it'll help him gain his footing back. But like I said, if he doesn't figure it out there, it might be time to start a conversation on whether he needs to go or not. To be honest.
Mhm. I
So
agree.
so yeah, and then another getting rid of candidate is Logan Gillespie and Austin Voth, but we've already went in depth with that. Um, I think that's really all we have to cover with this series. The Orioles do win this series. Came in 4-5, finished 7-6 in the series. I believe we're been in fourth place. AL East is just amazing, with Blue Jays, Yankees, and then the Rays, who were undefeated at the time. So, something. The Rays are annoying, and they're going to be annoying for a while because they're not a big budget, team in the slightest. They like having low payrolls, but they got amazing players and they can develop pitchers like crazy.
Mhm.
So, but anyway, I think we covered anything unless you have any other questions.
That was it.
Um, I'm gonna start doing a player of the series too as well. Um, I guess I would have to give it to. Mm,
Adley.
yeah, I would probably say Adley. He had a good
Well,
series. I mean, he just
yeah,
seems to
yeah.
always have good series. It's
With Mount Castle being a close second too.
I would maybe Mountcastle deserves it because he hit 4 home runs in the series and had 9, 10, 11, 12 RBIs in the series. So I might give it to him. But Adley's they're probably co-player of the week series. I would say.
Mm.
But anyway, I think that's all for us in this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and follow our socials. They're finally in the bio, and in the YouTube bio. And like I'm gonna ask one more time. Like, I'm always gonna do this. I'm gonna ask one more time. If you have any last thoughts, just bring them up.
Oh, that was it.
All right. Well, we're birds of prey, and we're out.
We're out.